What's up with it? My DP peeps, Josh here. DepriveD Productions with our first tutorial in our new Unreal Engine 4 series, World Development. That's right, we're going to make worlds, and I'm not going to lie, where I'm located, the allergies are real bad, so I can't breathe very well, so good luck to both of us. But today we're going to talk about the basics, real simple tutorial. We're going to talk about landscapes and height maps and how we can easily create them in the Unreal Engine 4. Love it. If you go to this tab right here, you'll see that we can create a landscape, and it creates a big old flat plane here, right? You got some adjustments here. It asks for a material and stuff like that. We're not going to worry about that just yet. You can change the size here, the location, rotation, and scale, the resolution. If you drag this little bad baby over here, you'll see a few things right there you can toy with, you know what I'm talking about? But I'm just going to create it, okay? I'm just going to create it for right now, and boom, watch what happens. So it creates us a giant plane. Now, you'll see these little black lines, very simple. If you build your lighting, they will all go away. It's that simple. You just click the build button and boom, they're gone. We're not gonna worry about that right now. But yeah, just those lines is where it's just completely built. Now, you got a few options here when it comes to molding this bad baby. As you can tell, I got a little circle here, little something. You got like we're on the Sculpting tab, and you can see here we got some different tools: sculpt, smooth, and flatten, or whatever. And I'll keep it on sculpt or whatnot. The strength, the size of the brush fall off. If I adjust that, you can see what it's doing there. I'll just leave it at 0.5. 0.5 is pretty good. And if I hold the mouse button and click, making some mountains, you know, real simple stuff. A lot of people already know this, I'm sure. If you hold shift and click, you can go down, you can kind of dive down into it, right? I'm going down inside of it. And like I said, don't worry too much about them black lines again. They disappear once you build the lighting. But yeah, you could go through here and build some little areas, some stuff like that, and change the size of it and be like, don't be scared, big old mountain over here or whatever not. Now, here's the thing, something cool you can do. If you've made a bunch of a mess, you can go to sculpt, instead go to flatten, and start way over here maybe. And then if you stay at a spot where it's flat, it'll take everything to this level. So now I can shift, or not hold shift, but just click and hold, and it's literally pretty much erasing everything I just done. See what I did there? Boom, flat all over again, but I can change it back to something else, like to sculpt again, and just boom, all kind of little mountains and cliffs and whatever not. Now again, the fall off is very important, because if it's cranked all the way up, and I turn this down to maybe about 1500, the size, little tiny squirrel here, little squirrel looking circle, I can just boom, you can see how it's real straight. It's the fall off's not even there. But if I turn the fall off all the way down, it has more of a like a circly, like a sphere-y kind of look, instead of a real rigid, sharp edge like that. But I mean, you know, like I said, just a couple different options there when it comes to building or whatever not. But yeah, guys, the landscape tool's really neat. It could definitely help you create some stuff, but it takes a lot of time to do this kind of stuff. And this is actually probably something you'd want to do to just mold something you've already got created. Make minor changes and little roads and whatever not, and hold shift. And like I said, you can go back to flatten. Okay, you know, I always go to flatten here. I change my fall off all the way to 0, crank it up, and then boom, I just click way out here, about here, and then just erase everything, you know what I'm saying? Fix all the mess I just did, because let's be honest, it looks just awful. But guys, the landscape tool, very basic tutorial I know, is really neat. Just for y'all that don't understand, you can literally, if I go back to sculpt here and I make a big old thing here and it looks real bad and I'm like, what have I done? Oh God. You can still do some other things, like you could smooth it out. Go to the smooth tool and go back over it and watch it'll kind of smoothen it out. Not as rough edges now, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of smoothen out little sections of it and then just continue to do that and kind of. Now, if I go to the flatten tool again and I start about right here, watch what happens. Oh. You see what I did there? And I start about right here again. Little nonsense that doesn't look very good, but you see what I'm doing? I'm just going to erase all that by starting at a smaller spot. Once again, the flatten tool is actually really handy. And you can go to like your different types of tools. It doesn't have to be. It could be an alpha tool, and it's gonna go back to sculpt. And with this alpha tool, set back to circle, go back to the alpha tool and do this. Don't do that. Just don't, I just control Z that. But anyway, guys, a lot of different stuff. You can pick a texture or a pattern here, and you can pick maybe a texture that you have. It's got some weird one. So it's got I think the macro is over top of it. So if I sculpt it with the macro texture, you can see it actually using that texture to build just ridiculous things. And like I said, from deep, it looks awesome. Up close, it's a little too triangle-y. But hey, again, that's all about the resolution of the landscape. We could have changed that before we made it. Of course, we'll go back and we'll flatten it, because God only knows we need to do that before it's too late. I'll go to the old sphere and just get rid of that. Now, check this out. The one thing I wanted to show you. we're going to delete this height map. I'm going to go back to my first tab so I can select it and press delete and get rid of it because we don't need it. It's garbage. Check this out down here. What I've got in my DP folder is I've got a height map here. It's just a PNG file. And the dimensions, as you can tell, are 2048 by 2048. If I double click, this is what it looks like. It's literally just a white and black alpha style map, kind of like a alpha map or a displacement map. You've seen those, but it's literally just a height map. So it's a very detailed image that actually has black for the low and white for the high. You know, when it comes to like up and down on the Z-axis or the blue, you know, whatever axis, however y'all look at that. But still, this is a height map, and you can make these yourself, or you can use like World Machine or Photoshop or different programs. And I'll show you soon how to make some really awesome ones for almost no money whatsoever. So like basically, what happens now is I'm going to use this height map, and I'm going to make a landscape with this height map over it. So check it out. Let's go back to landscape. Now let's go right here to import from file, okay? I'm gonna click on that, and it's asking me for one. Now, I actually don't need it here in my project. Just letting you know, it's down here so I could show it to you, but it's gonna ask me where one's at, and I'm gonna have to go find it. And if I go to my desktop and I see the DP is my height map, and you can now see that it's a little more rigid. Now, the thing about this height map is the edges of it kind of go out a little bit like that. So there's a couple options you can do to adjust that. You can go down here, the different things here. You can see the resolution. So if I change this up just a little bit, let's just change that up one and change that up one. It'll change the resolution, but it pulled it out a little bit. Let's pull it down a little bit. Let's pull it down a little bit like that. Okay, wait. It got rid of it. Now I just got my landscape, but as you can tell, the overall resolution, I could stretch that bad baby out further than the map did, and it's going to just make a bunch of flat nonsense, so I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I could change the quadrants, the scale of it, if I want to, and I can change the scale afterwards. But basically, now I've imported the height map, and when I create it now and import, what do we get? That. Oh, little landscape action for you. So it's real detailed, got some cliffs, got some mountains, got some canyons down in here, a little valley action. Now, of course, the one thing about this, being careful about, this is a free landscape, a free height map, by the way, is you got to be careful on the edges here. You know what I'm saying? You may want to make sure that your whole landscape has a flat end so you can put some water around it, because you know that's going to be messy. You know what I'm saying? So you want to think about that. But I'm just showing you an example of a height map, you know what I'm saying? But check this out. I can go back into the Sculpt tool, right? I'm actually in the Sculpt tool. I'll go back to Sculpt, set everything up. Let's put it back on sphere or circle so it doesn't go crazy. I'll set my height to, you know, maybe my brush size to maybe about 2,500. Set this to 0.5. My strength is at 0.5, and I can still actually mold on this landscape. So I can actually still create all kind of mountains in here. And you see all that rigid nonsense as you're walking around in here, it's all rigid. Well, see, I can go to the flat tool. Let's flatten, not flat tool, but the smooth tool. You know what I'm saying? Let's smooth all this out like it's a walking area. You know what I'm saying? Kind of smooth that out a little bit like that. So now it's real smooth. Down here in between my nonsense, I could smooth out these cliffs. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. Let's smooth them out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Little stuff like that. And if I don't like that, I could go back and pick some crazy texture, undo with Control Z or whatever not. And even crazier, like I said, guys, you could literally go to the flatten tool, right? The flat, and I go about right here and just boom. Oh, make a little road that looks real bad, you know what I'm talking about? With a cliff that don't make no sense, but then I could, like, you know, go in here and do this, and oh. Oh, you know what I'm talking about? I'm just molding stuff. It looks real bad, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I can smooth it out after that, obviously. Make that look a little bit better. Kind of smooth all that out a little bit. Maybe a little bit, something like that, bruh. Now, but the point is, it's real simple. Super simple tutorial. Just wanted to show you guys what we're going to be doing in the World Development Series. We're going to be working with landscapes, all the different materials that go on them. Foliage. We're going to jump into foliage. We're going to be painting textures, painting foliage, applying foliage to our materials. We're going to talk about the lighting and the shadows and exactly how this is happening. We have so much to learn. Like I said, you could see my skylight over here, and we're going to show you why it's important. We're going to show you why the directional light's important. All the good stuff, the sky, the fog, so much cool stuff we're about to learn, guys. Just wanted to show you the basics of creating a simple height map or a landscape. Like I said, you can create it yourself, or you can import something like this into it when you create it, and boom, have something super, super, super detailed like this. But get ready for some new stuff, guys. World Development, the Unreal Engine 4. This is part one. Part one. Very basic stuff. I'm sure thousands and thousands of you already know how to do this, but get ready for some neat stuff that I've learned about creating super awesome landscapes, some of them almost photorealistic, very, very neat tools to create quick materials and landscapes, worlds within minutes, guys. So get ready. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Josh here with Deprived Productions. Hit the Deprived Productions channel. Hit us up on Facebook. Go like the Deprived 2018 SoundCloud Sun. It's freaking awesome. We're going to be on Mixer soon. Love y'all. Miss y'all. I know it's a basic tutorial, but I want to show you guys this just for the people that don't understand any of this. Make sure, make sure everybody understands. So I get it. I get it. Some of the tutorials are basic. This is a basic one. It's the first one in the series. Give me a break. My allergies are acting up. I can't breathe real well. I need to go to the hospital. Love y'all. Miss y'all. Until next time. Peace.